So I'm Deepika Joshi, and I work with the PHM Global Secretariat, and I'm associated with PHM India as well.
Thank you so much, Deepika, for joining us. Would you please share with us what has been your experience in Chile attending this Our Future is Public event?
So basically, the conference is called Our Future is Public. It is organized by many organizations, and People's Health Movement is one of them. And it's a 4 days conference which plans to bring together activists, social movements, civil society organizations from across the world to basically share strategies and narratives towards the vision of public services, public services in different sectors, be it health, education, energy, transport, infrastructure, and so on. So PHM is here and it's supporting the health sector sessions.
PHM globally and PHM Latin America is involved and just launched a campaign for the transformation of health systems in the region. Yeah. And couple of days ago, some days ago, a week ago or something, there was another meeting in which there was a lot of talk about the transformation of health systems. What has been talked and approached in this meeting in Chile regarding the transformation of health systems, not just in Chile, but in Latin America?
Yeah, so to talk specifically about the health sector events are being organized by this group called many organizations. One of them is GIESCR and many others. And the group is against, it's a specific group against commercialization, against healthcare, which has been working for last 1 or 2 years. So the main focus has been resisting the privatization attempts across the world, and also devising strategies. I think so far it's up to us because there are a lot of organizations. What I think PHM could bring specifically to a conference like this is how to bring these two ideas together, to build, to envisage, to envision, to think of health systems transformation, which are public, which is also our vision, and to bring it together with this group, which has more specifically working against privatization of healthcare.
How do you see the environment of the struggle and the activities and the organizations here in Latin America? And what's your view on what you have seen so far from the organizations talking about health?
Yeah, so Latin America is a completely new. It's another world for us. It's the other end of the continent. So we have a lot of organizations, local ones in Chile, but there are also which comes from many other parts of the world. That's number one. Second is there's a reason that Chile was chosen as a venue for this conference. It has been a very it has had a very historic election recently, and everybody is very motivated and inspired by the recent progressive left-wing government. So that was part of the reason where this place was specifically chosen for this conference, and the government, the municipalities, and the conference organizers have been working closely with different parts of the government to ensure this conference happens. So I think that's we should not forget the place and the venue where this conference is being held and the context of it. Yeah, and so many things are very different. So yesterday we made field visits. I think we went to 3 places, and the one where our group went to was this group called EPS, Popular Education in Health. And we were discussing this with the other participants, how this is something we haven't seen in our country. I mean, at least in our country, in India and South Africa, as he said, it's something very new. They work on Paulo Freire model of building consciousness for health, very bottoms-up approach, very radical, very political, etc. We do this in our countries through different PHM does it, different organizations does it, different civil society organizations do it. But then this kind of approach that sort of, and I think it's not just a Chilean thing, it's a very Latin American thing, this popular education model. So that was very new for us. Other things, it's very interesting. The first thing when you listen about Chilean health system is people talk about how there's so much dependence on private sector, uh, people go to private sector and so on. But we actually, when in the presentation, we realized that 80% of the population still rely on the public sector, but you do not see that from the outside. It's only when you come here you learn, and which is the case in almost all developing countries, where despite being underfunded, underinvested, the poorest people and the most marginalized people and a large percentage of people still depend on the public sector, as in India also, where 70 to 80%. And, to bring that narrative out, that there's so much dependence, and despite less resources, it functions so well, and hence the need to resource it better.